If you're heading to the British Caribbean island of Anguilla and wondering how expensive it's going to be, we just island hopped across St. Maarten, St. Barth, and Anguilla. And in this video, we're breaking down all of the costs for our 2-night Anguilla portion of the trip. Now, we did travel as a couple, so we'll break down the total costs as well as cover them on a per person basis. And if you're planning an island hopping trip as well, don't miss our St. Maarten and St. Barth budget breakdown videos linked down below. Let's start with getting to Anguilla. One of the most popular ways to visit Anguilla is to combine your visit with a trip to St. Maarten. And that's exactly what we did. It's about a 30-minute ferry ride. And there's actually 2 different ferry options, public and private. Which you choose largely depends on which side of St. Maarten you're coming from. If you're coming from Dutch Sint Maarten, you're going to need to book a private ferry company, which departs from the private ferry port right next to the Princess Juliana International Airport. We went with Calypso Charters, and our ferry tickets were $75 per person for the one-way. Combined with a $5 tip, that's $155 total, and this price did include free drinks. The other option is the public ferry out of Marigot on the French side of St. Maarten. Public ferry tickets generally run around $30 one way, but after taxes and port fees, you're looking more about $50 per person. So this would be a more affordable option if departing from the French side of the island works within your itinerary. Now, the other option to get to Anguilla is to fly in and out of Anguilla's Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport. Since we split our stay between St. Maarten and Anguilla, we flew to St. Maarten, took the ferry to Anguilla, and then flew home out of the Anguilla airport. We flew on American Airlines and purchased 2 one-way tickets from Anguilla to Nashville with a layover in Miami, and that cost $391.49 per person. We also had to pay a departure tax at the airport in cash, and that was $28 each. So our total here was $419.49 each, or $838.98 total. And for comparison, we generally see round-trip flights from Nashville to Anguilla and back running around $700 per person. Next, transportation. Now, everything's pretty spread out in Anguilla, so a rental car is highly recommended. We rented our car from a local provider, Andy's Auto Rental, and they had a huge location right outside of Anguilla's ferry terminal, though they do coordinate pickups and drop-offs at the airport as well. We specifically wanted a convertible car and got this adorable black convertible Mini Cooper. Our 3-day car rental cost $201.45, and it actually included quite a bit in that rental rate. The upgraded car, insurance, the Anguilla driver's license fee, a fee for an airport drop-off, and we rented beach chairs and umbrellas as well. So I think that's an exceptionally fair price, especially for convertible, and we had a really great experience with Andy's Auto Rental. We also spent $15 in gas during our stay, making our total transportation costs $216.45, and that's $108.23 per person. Next, our hotel costs. Anguilla hotel and resorts are expensive, and honestly, they kind of cater to a different socioeconomic class than what we're in. Because of that, we went searching for a more affordable Airbnb style of accommodation, and we settled on Arawak Beach Club. Arawak Beach Club is a boutique hotel, Airbnb, little colorful bungalow style accommodations located on a quiet, secluded part of the island, just a 5 minutes drive from the famous Shoal Bay East. We stayed in the Purple Suite, which was a perfectly sized little room for a solo traveler or couple. The price here was under $350 a night, which we consider to be an affordable option in Anguilla, given the average cost of hotels here. Our total cost was $675.75 for 2 nights, and that's $337.87 a person. If you want to see more on the Arawak Beach Club, we'll link our tour in the description below. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you're finding this video helpful so far. Okay, so activities. Now, Anguilla is a beach destination, so your primary activity for the island will probably be relaxing on one of its beaches. We went beach hopping, exploring Shoal Bay East, Meads Bay, and Rendezvous Bay Beach. Luckily, the beaches on Anguilla are free and open to the public, and we were able to park for free as well, so no cost here. Plus, our hotel offered a number of complimentary activities, like kayaks and stand-up paddle boards. Total cost for activities and sightseeing, $0. Now let's discuss our food and drink costs for all of the restaurants we dined out at. During our 2-night stay, we had 2 casual breakfasts, drinks and snacks on the beach, and 2 nice dinners. For breakfast, we had lattes and egg sandwiches at Yves Coffee, $28. We also had lattes and croissants at Le Bon Pain, $18. At the beach, we had several rounds of cocktails at Gwen's Reggae Grill, plus wings, $93.15. We also got soda and beer from Sunshine Shack for $8. And then we had a casual beachside lunch at Blanchard's Beach Shack. Soda, beer, and hot dogs at $26.08. And before our flight out, a quick lunch at Ken's Barbecue, $20. For dinner, we had 2 really nice meals, which included cocktails and a tip at Blanchard's restaurant. The total came to $139.38. And at Tasty's Point of View, $123.05. And since we were on Anguilla for only 2 nights, we didn't buy any groceries and actually brought a few snacks over with us from St. Martin. So our only grocery cost was grabbing a couple of drinks, $13. That puts our total dining costs at $468.66 or $234.33 per person. So what was our grand total for 2 nights in Anguilla? Keep in mind that this is just one portion of our trip, and we've addressed the Sint Maarten and St. Barth costs in other videos. The Anguilla grand total came to $2,354.84, and that's $1,177.42 per person. We'd love to hear your thoughts on our spending. If you think these costs are too high or relatively low given how expensive the island is. And if you're currently planning your Anguilla trip, don't miss this video next.